Hi friends, welcome back to the channel, and today I want to talk with you about high schoolers. So, as you know, this channel is dedicated to this concept of the modern golden age, right? I have the podcast where I interview people about it, and I also make these videos to explain some ideas that I do believe will help us to get there sooner. And so today I want to let you in on a very core belief of mine, which is that in order to bring the modern golden age, one of the most important things that we should do is actually work with high schoolers. And in order for you to understand why I believe that, you need to understand a few things first. So, for years I've been obsessed with what I call the human potential question. That means, how can we make sure that people are developing their own potential and actually acting upon it? And after thousands of hours in workshops, training sessions, seminars, coaching sessions, with people from all walks of life, I realized that the bottleneck to human potential is human belief. Most people will act upon their potential when they're having an idea, when they're writing an essay, when they're thinking about the next big business. But when time comes and they need to push the button and actually take action, most of them won't do it because they have a limiting belief that says that people will not read the essay, or people will not like the business, or people will not like the idea. So that means that in order for us to increase human potential, we need to understand how to help people to craft better beliefs. Now, I think we all can agree that if we have more human potential, it will be better to get to a modern golden age, right? Okay, so here's the thing about beliefs. Most people, when they start, they basically try to give the right beliefs to others, because if someone believes what you believe, they'll act upon their potential. And I don't think that works. I think that what we need to do is to give people the tools that allow them to actually come up with their own beliefs in order to then act upon them. So when it comes to human belief, I figure out there are two elements that we need to highlight. The first one is the depth of your belief. How much you believe in something matters a lot in terms of how hard or how easy it is to change it, right? If I believe something really hard, it will be really hard to change it, of course. So that's the first one. How hard or how strongly do I believe something? And the second element is my ability to practice metacognition, meaning my ability to think about my own beliefs, to think about my own thoughts and realize if they're either good, bad, if they're helping me or not. Now, it's really important for this conversation that we understand that the ability to do metacognition or to practice metacognition is not the same thing as actually practicing. In fact, what we want to do is to give people the tools that allow them to actually practice this metacognition. But we'll get there. So when you basically start your own life, you don't have either. You don't have beliefs, or you don't have the mental structure that allows for metacognition, right? But as time passes, both of these increase, right? You go through experiences and you start to believe something with more depth, more strongly. At the same time, you're developing your mental structure in a way that allows you to actually question those same beliefs. So even though they're growing at the same time, they're actually having opposite effects on you. One of them is making it hard to change the beliefs, which is like how strong you believe in something, and another one is making them easy, right? It's making it easier to change your beliefs, the ability to actually questioning them. Now, here's what happens. Both of them grow, but they don't grow forever. In fact, it comes a point in your life when suddenly your emotional availability to actually practice metacognition starts to go down. That's why we say that you can teach new tricks to an old dog, right? So we need to find a balance between these two elements in order to understand when is the best time to actually help people to craft new beliefs and act upon their potential. And in my experience, that's high school. Why? Well, first of all, any high schooler can actually understand the basis of metacognition. They have the mental structure to understand that. So if you give them tools such as writing to clarify your thinking, tools such as critical thinking, tools such as, once again, metacognition, if you give them experiences such as publishing online or starting a project, you're giving them the tools that allow them to craft new beliefs. At the same time, high school is a period of a lot of rebellion. inner rebellion, outer rebellion. So questioning these beliefs is actually part of that experience. So that means we have the perfect combination, because people are questioning, high schoolers are questioning their beliefs, and if you give them tools such as critical thinking, writing, and experience such as building a project or publishing and writing online, these two things mixed up will allow them to craft a new set of beliefs that actually helps them to act upon their potential and to increase such potential. So that's why I believe working with high schoolers is fundamental, because it allows us to increase the amount of human potential in order to get to a modern golden age. Now, that's great, but it's not all. I'll give you one more thing, which is, let's say that we do work with these high schoolers and we give them these tools and they start living what my friend Cecile called, in a beautiful Twitter thread that I'll link down below, purpose-led lives, right? When you're starting to live a purpose-led life, you'll start purpose-led businesses and purpose-led communities and even purpose-led governments. Now that's a fundamental change, right? And here's what happens. So a high schooler starts to live a purpose-led life because he builds a purpose-led business, and what this means is that he's basically making a living out of solving meaningful problems to them. And usually meaningful problems to people are actually problems that affect humanity. So basically you're having all these high schoolers solving problems that have a deep impact on humanity and actually feeling great about it. So that in on itself, once again, is great, but here's the thing. In a long enough time frame, if you wait, say, 20 years, 30 years, these high schoolers will be parents. And their children will look at them and see a real example of someone who makes a living out of solving meaningful problems, out of living a purpose-led life. In fact, when it comes to education, these high schoolers will educate their children in a much more rich way than the current education, because they will teach their children how to live purpose-led lives. That it is possible for them to live a life and just solve things that they care, pursue their interests, and add value to people and to humanity as a whole by doing that. Now, if we do this, it means that we can actually create a revolution in terms of education, right? You can change the full educational system by working with the high schoolers right now, and that allows a systemic change. And that's why I believe that working with high schoolers is something fundamental for us to get into a modern golden age. Do you agree? Please let me know in the comments, through Twitter, through my website. Feel free to DM me. Sorry about the noise. I think it's something happened down there. I really hope that doesn't ruin these videos, this audio. And yeah, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, pushing the like button, leaving a comment, and I'll see you soon, either in the next video or in the first episode of the second season of the Modern Golden Age podcast. Bye, friends.